Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the stream. Testing 1, 2, 3. Checkity, check, check, check. Let me know how things are looking out there in the real world. There we are. I think we're finally live. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Let's get some tunes rolling. Make sure they're going. I do like to have a little bit of music in the background. Welcome to the stream. Hey, if this is your first time dropping in, welcome to Cert Plus. My name is Jesse J. I am a cybersecurity professional working in vulnerability management and security operations. And I have about 60 days, about 30 days actually, to take the CompTIA CySA Plus certification. This is a self-imposed deadline. I want to get it done in 30 days. I've been passively studying for this test, and I've been working in the field, but I really want to get a good, solid textbook knowledge and get the certification around cybersecurity analyst, what we/they do on the day-to-day. And I do enjoy teaching, and I also enjoy studying quite a bit and taking certifications. So right now we're in the middle of CySA Plus, I guess you can call it. Yesterday I went through and I did a practice exam, and it identified that the incident response category was my weakest domain. And so today I thought I would go live, because I said I'm going to live stream a study session for at least 30 minutes every day until the day we take the certification. And I want to bring you along, and I want to do it in a community-driven environment. So I hope that you find value from this stream. If you don't, maybe you know somebody who could find value from this stream. Send them my way if they're preparing for their certification, and I would love to have them. Look, checking chat. I'm not expecting a ton of viewers today, but maybe you're watching this on Team Replay, so I'll do my best to answer chat, but I do want to get through a good chunk of security questions. Hey guys, Module 1 and Module 2 is available on YouTube channel. So this is actually our third stream, Sebastian, right now. So what we're going to do is myself and Tech Ricky, so if you're watching this on Team Replay, hey Tech Ricky, hope all is well. We're going to do at the very least once a week, but probably a bi-weekly long format stream in which we go through domain by domain in order. We're going to go in the order of the CompTIA exam objectives. I'm, as part of my personal study and as a way to help people study together, maybe you're studying for the same exam, maybe you just want to have somebody studying in the background, who knows? I never know what's going on the internet. I'm studying as a way to show you some of the things that worked for me to help you pass on the first time. And I like to invest in industry training materials, right? So we got Pocket Prep, we got the official CompTIA training materials. Long story short, the 30-minute daily study sessions are going to be me studying for myself in the weak areas that I've addressed. And then the bi-weekly long format study sessions are going to be going through domain by domain by domain. So today, this is going to be kind of a 30-minute, 45-minute, we'll see how it goes, study session in which I'm going to smash out some practice questions around incident response. And then you can expect to see Tech Ricky and myself next week. And we'll be doing a longer format starting with domain 1, security operations. We'll be going through that. So I hope that helps answer that question. Hey, didn't catch you yesterday, but here today. Code Brew Cyber, good to see you. Welcome back to the party. All right, let's get started. I don't hear my music. That's bumming me out, you guys. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe when I reloaded it, needs to. There it is. All right. Before we get started, I want to thank the sponsor of every episode is proudly sponsored by the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Dr. Jerry Ozier, over 20 years of industry experience spanning multiple sectors of cybersecurity, everything from incident response, the development phase, and then ending the career with a strong emphasis in GRC, risk management. Check this out. Monday through Friday, every morning at 8 a.m., Dr. Jerry Ozier uses his industry expertise to break down what is going on currently in the world of cybersecurity, attacks, vulnerabilities, you name it, we're going to cover it. We're going to do it in a live, super fun atmosphere, build mentorship, level up your community, level up your knowledge, earn CPEs. You can earn CPEs for this stream as well. So if you're studying for your Sec Plus or your CySA Plus, you can do screen caps of my stream as well. Those should qualify as CPEs as we are doing educational content. So make sure you check that out. Again, that's Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief every morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I have CySA Plus exam on next week. Wish me luck. Thank you for the tips. Absolutely. Well, you're in the right place. Let's go through some practice questions. Let's get into it. For this, I use the Pocket Prep to identify weak areas. We got about 20 practice questions dialed up within the incident response domain. And we are going to go through those as we speak. And I'm just going to reinforce some of that textbook understanding of incident response and management. Hey, Brenda Snack Panic. Good to see you in chat. All right, I'm going to go. We're going to go. Probably won't address chat until we get through these questions for the sake of time. AI editing software later down the road. When you're hearing this, go ahead and start the edit now for the quiz portion of the live stream. Thank you. Start quiz, 20 questions, 20 minutes. Is that what I got? Yeah. We're going to do 30 minutes. So how many minutes? Oh, this is just going to be how many we can get in 30 minutes. Great. Let's start. It's probably pretty small for all of you down home. Let me back home. Kim, a software engineer at Acme Inc. wants to understand which cybersecurity vulnerabilities they should work on first. Of the following issues from a vulnerability report, which should be worked on first? Notice that it doesn't say which has the highest CVE score or which one. It's saying which one should be worked on first. All right, so we know that from a vulnerability report, the question is asking us which one should be worked on first. Typically with these exams, I'm going to look for two answers that stick out to me. The issue with the highest CEV score, the issue with the highest risk score, the issue with the highest priority, or the issue with the most reoccurrences. So the question is saying, we need to understand which vulnerability we need to tackle first. I've got this report. From this report, which one should be worked on first? The ones with the highest CVE scores, the ones with the highest risk score, C, the ones with the highest priorities, or D, the ones with the most reoccurrences? If this is your first time, go ahead and drop your best answer in chat and we'll rock it. So we can definitely cross off the issue with the highest CVE score, because just because something has a high CVE score doesn't necessarily mean it's going to apply to your environment, right? So we need to take risk. Is it proposing a risk to business operations, security? Is it posing a risk to the CIA triad? If it is, right? But then again, if it's posing a risk, what if it's not in our environment? Brenda's Snack Panic is going with B, the one with the highest risk score. And Sebastian is going with C, the one with the highest priority. Well, I will tell you that I'm torn on this one because I am also torn between B and C. So we know it's not the one with the highest CV score and the one most reoccurrences. You could have a bunch of informationals or lower level vulnerabilities that may not have any significant business impact, but they reoccur. So you need to create an accept rule or tune the vulnerability scanner to not look for those, periodically. Maybe like an accept rule or something like that, risk accept rule, set it for a month or 3 months, revisit it on your quarterly briefings. Hey, just wanted to let you know this is still floating around. Do you want to continue to accept? Yes. Okay, cool. Do you want us to just tune it out of the scanner altogether? Okay, great. We'll do it. Thank you, C-suite, or thank you, CISO, boss, whoever. Highest risk score or highest priority? I'm going to go with highest priority, C, because the highest priority word. But in the back of my mind, I'm going to be upset if it's not. Correct. All right. Common elements in a vulnerability report include vulnerability details such as CVE, which stands for common vulnerabilities and exposures, their number and their description, affected hosts, IP addresses and host names of systems found to be vulnerable. A risk score details the risk severity in context of the organization, which is exactly what we just said, right? We want to do it in a way that we're trying to mitigate the risk. That's our first priority. Mitigation options, ways to mitigate the vulnerability. Reoccurrence, how often the vulnerability is reoccurred, and then our prioritization. Vulnerability reports will put into context that helps prioritize which vulnerabilities should be addressed first. Which is funny because this says context that helps prioritize which vulnerabilities should be addressed first. The question is asking us which should be worked first, but we chose the answer, the one with the highest priority. Oh, yeah, prioritization. I thought reoccurrences for some reason. My bad. While the other factors may influence prioritization is the most direct way to determine which issue should be worked first. All right, that's pretty straightforward. Move on to the next question. Which of the following best describes the idea of data used in fuzzing? Random and invalid, a JSON formatted and version controlled, C, structured and plain text, or D, sensitive and hashed? If you need to do a quick Google search to understand what fuzzing is, go for it. Agent 57 is going with C, structured and plain text. I got agent and structured. Tripped over. Agent 57 is going with structured and plain text. The survey says random and invalid. Let's look at the explanation. Remember how much you can learn from Code Brew Cyber coming in with C as well. I thought it was fuzz testing, also known as fuzzing, is a form of testing where invalid or random data is sent to an application to see how it responds. Fuzz tests are typically automated and useful for uncovering issues like poor error handling and memory leaks. So Sebastian got it with, no, Sebastian didn't get it. Am I strange? No, you're not strange at all. It's just said, I had the word structured and agent. And so instead of saying structured and agent, I said strangent, which is going to be a new word. So I see what they're saying here. Fuzz testing, also known as fuzzing. So you want random invalid data to hit the application server. Just see how is it going to act. Is it going to throw an error and potentially reveal more information than it's supposed to? Is there going to be a memory leak of some kind exposing sensitive information? So you're trying to test the resilience of that. Cool. Alex, a security engineer at Acme Inc., is reviewing outbound traffic from a VLAN dedicated to the Acme Inc. accounting department. Alex notices an unusual spike in traffic from just one endpoint. What should Alex do next? A, have incident responders investigate. B, declare an incident. C, begin the recovery phase. Or D, ignore the spike. So let's reread that. Accounting department, that's probably pretty critical. Money, moolah, bottom dollar, bye. Go and get paid. Alex, a security engineer, is reviewing outbound traffic. So we've got traffic leaving the accounting department and an unusual spike in traffic from one endpoint. So it sounds like one endpoint has been compromised and it is sending out data, is being exfiltrated from that, or it's beaconing back to a C2 or a command and control server. So you can either have incident response, investigate, B, declare an incident, C, begin the recovery phase, or D, ignore the spike altogether. Sebastian has taken this one with number A, excuse me for coughing. Brenda's going with B, or A as well, so we got A squared. Alex, a security engineer at Acme, is reviewing outbound traffic from a VLAN dedicated to the Acme Inc. accounting department. Alex notices an unusual spike in traffic from one endpoint. What should Alex do next? A, have incident responders investigate. B, declare an incident. C, begin the recovery phase. Or D, ignore the spike. Well, we know it's not B or D, so we can cross those out. We don't know if it's an incident. Right now, it's an event of some kind, but we don't know if there's an incident. Maybe that is maybe you talk to the end user and find out that they are supposed to be. There's a contract maybe we don't know about, and they're sending over numbers or something. You just don't know, right? So we don't know, so we don't want to declare an incident. We don't want to ignore the spike. So we want to find somewhere in the middle. So it's either going to be have the incident responders investigate. Remember, it says he's an engineer. So he builds and reviews, maybe in their job, he builds and reviews configurations, fixes things when they're broken, but maybe he's not on the incident response team. That's something to consider. So maybe it not be, I would initially have gone with C. My incident response brain says, all right, well, let's begin. Oh, the recovery phase. Yeah, we're not in the recovery phase yet. Code Brew Cyber says maybe declare an incident. Well, we don't know if there's an incident. We kind of briefly talked about that one. What if it's expected activity or it's in line with a business application of some kind? So let's have the incident responders investigate. Yep. Correct answer. Have incident responders investigate. And the unusual spike in traffic is an IOC. Get used to hearing this term if you're just getting into this. Indicator of compromise, as it shouldn't be ignored. After an IOC is detected, incident responders should determine if there is legitimately an incident or if the IOC is a false positive. If there is legitimately an incident based on the responder analysis, an incident is then declared. Recovery activities come after the incident is. And I made an error. If you notice, I read begin the incident response phase. I just skimmed this answer and I may have even chosen it when it really was begin the recovery phase, which comes afterwards. Just a lesson to make sure you read those questions thoroughly. Kim, a security architect at Acme Inc., is comparing Scout Suite, Pacu, and Prowler as possible tools for Acme Incorporated Secure SOC. Which category of tools best describes Scout Suite, Pacu, and Prowler? A, cloud assessment. B, a password capture or a password cracker. C, a packet capture. Or D, a protocol analyzer. I'm a security architect. I work at Acme Inc. I'm looking at some solutions to implement in my SOC. Let's see. I want to do I want to do the Scout, a demo with the Scout team. I got a demo with the Pacu team, and I got a demo with the Prowler team. What kind of tool am I doing demos on? Is it A, cloud assessment tools? Is it B, password cracking tools? Is it C, a packet capture tool of some kind? Or is it D, a protocol analyzer? Agent 57, read the questions and the answers multiple times when doing the real test is all I can recommend for everyone. I believe it's a cloud assessment. I've never heard of a password cracker, a packet capture, or a protocol. Could be a protocol analyzer, but I've never heard of a password cracker or a packet capture with any of those names. I'm going with A is my reasonable. Yep. Next question. Woo. All right, team. Which of the following SCAP standards focuses on providing a standard way to describe product names and versions? Is it A, OVAL? Is it B, a CPE? Is it C, CVSS? Or is it D, XCCDF? Which of the following SCAP standards focuses on providing a standard way to describe product names and versions? First choice is OVAL. Second choice is CPE. Third choice is CVSS. And your fourth choice is XCCDF. Sebastio Antonio says CVSS, option C. I don't believe it's CPE. I know OVAL and SCAP are related to each other in their standardization and reporting. I'm going to go with the class. Code Brew Cyber, do you have anything to say? I'm going to go A, Brenda Snack Panic says. It's either A between A or B. There's a second A. Right now that's outnumbering B, so let's go ahead and send it with A. Correct answer was B. Sebastiano Antonio got it with CPE. Correct answer, CPE. SCAP, or Security Content Automation Protocol, is an effort led by NIST, NIST, the National Institute for Standards and Technology, to prioritize aspects of reporting cybersecurity information and enable automation. Notable SCAP standards are summarized in the table below. Take a screenshot or whatever. So CCE, let's go to the one, Common Platform Enumeration, used for names and versions. So if you knew, so here is a good example of them trying to make sure that we understand. You're going to want to understand these. So here is a set of acronyms and abbreviations to understand. So knowing that, I need to work on that. Let's go to this. We're going to go. Yeah, no. Where is it? Okay. So I'll make notes on mine. Okay, I'll make notes on my study guide to come back to that. Next question. Sasha, a security analyst at Acme Inc., wants to scan a subnet and perform operating system detection on the process. Which command and flags are best option for this task? PS aux, B nmap tac ss, C nmap tac o, or D PS, TAC, EF. Well, let's quickly use our cosmic keyboard cowboy skills and break these ones down. PS stands for process status, so we know that has nothing to do. They want us to do a network scan, some network enumeration, right? We need to enumerate some networking. And it wants to know operating system detection. So we're going to be using Nmap, which immediately gets rid of A and D. Those are both process statuses. So that leaves us with Nmap TAC SS or Nmap TAC O. Which one is it, folks? I thought Nmap TAC SS meant for system enumeration. I could be wrong. Might be worth giving a goog. Going with B. Oh, once again, Sebastian Antonio trying to tell us, man. TAC O, operation. SV's for service. Oh, yeah, SS is for stealth scans. That's right. It's been a minute. Stealth scans. No pings, right? It's been a minute. Might be. What makes DDoS attacks different from other types of DOS attacks? DDoS attacks use multiple systems to attack a target. B, DDoS attacks authenticate to target systems. Other DOS attacks are unauthenticated. C, DDoS attacks target cloud resources. All other DOS attacks are on-premise resources. And DDoS attacks require an air gap. This one is really obviously straightforward. Well, maybe not obvious if you've been studying or you understand what's going on in the world. Remember that a DOS is a denial of service. So can't access a website down, can't get to it. Distributed, the distributed part is the key here. Distributed tells me that there's multiple systems in some kind of a botnet or a zombie system that's trying to attack a target. So we know it's A. That makes it different than the other ones. That one's pretty straightforward. Here we go. Which of the following best describes why legacy systems can recreate cybersecurity risks? A, legacy systems no longer receive patches. B, legacy systems do not support SSH. C, legacy systems are poorly coded. Or D, legacy systems do not support hypertext transfer protocol secured HTTPS. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. They don't receive patches. All of those things may or may not be true, but the main reason is because they can no longer receive patches. They got a patch up. Next question. Rosario, a junior software engineer at Acme Inc., deploys a script that makes sensitive company data public. Not good, Carl or Rosario. The intent of the script was to perform a data backup, and Rosario did not intend to leak the data. Whoops. The leaked data gives Acme Inc.'s competition details about their proprietary business process. The threat in this scenario is an example of which of the four threat categories as defined by NIST? A, environmental, B, adversarial, C, human-made, or D, accidental? Coral! I gotta get my Stream Deck hooked up. So we know it's not environmental. There was nothing in the environment. There was no act of God. There was no force of nature that caused this data leak. So we can scratch that one off. Well, it wasn't adversarial either because there's no adversary. It was an internal employee who was not doing anything malicious. It was an accident, which leaves us with the last two. Does NIST identify as one of the four categories? So this tells us that we need to memorize those four categories. So it's either human-made or accidental. I don't know if it matters if it's accidental or not. I think accidental is a moot point. I think is it human-made or not is the thing, right? We can only attack people, processes, and technology. And this is not adversarial. It's not environmental. It is human-made. That's the threat category. Now, the human-made and accidental made an accident, which that's how I'm reasoning it in my head if I was doing this out loud. I'd say, well, accidentals, that's a moot point. It was human-made. Everyone else is going with D, accidental. What does Sebastian Antonio say? He's saying D as well. Okay. I'm going to send it on D, and if it was C, then I would have been wrong. So here we go. Cheers. I know human-made doesn't sound like one of the four categories. I appreciate the honesty and people not Googling it, I guess. Correct. While many threats are human-made threats, human-made is not one of the four categories. All right, what are those four categories? Adversarial threats, accidental, structural, and environmental. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I have this book. Next question. Acme Inc. needs to ensure that security analysts do not modify drives during the cloning process. What tool should they add to the analyst's digital forensics workstations? A degausser, B, a fuzzer, C, a write blocker, or D, a bastion host? Agent 57 made up a funny acronym for the four categories: ASS or ASSI, adversarial, accidental, something, and I already forgot S, and environmental. Yeah, let's go with the answers that it's not correct. Remember, a degausser is a tool that is used to magnetically change the configuration of data, making it unreadable. So it's a way to destroy data. So we know that we're not trying to destroy the data. We're trying to prevent any kind of changes during the cloning process. A fuzzer, remember, that's a way to send random and invalid data to a web application to see how it's going to react, or any application to see how it's going to react. And it's not a bastion host. So that leaves us with write blocker. It's pretty straightforward. So this is going to be an example of one of those questions that really should just jump out, boom, on to the next, if you're taking the exam in lifetime. I know I need work on this part. An API server provides users with access to resources after they are authenticated using the OAuth 2.0 protocol. The API server in this scenario is which of the four parties involved in OAuth flows? A, the client, B, the authorization server, C, the resource server, or D, the resource owner. I was just looking at this in the book last night. I do recommend this book. They say it's the official one. It's really good. That's what I use for parts of my targeted studying. And then I'll go through and try and highlight what you can. It's got practice questions in the back, so you can highlight your answers, go through. It's got exam tips. Also comes with a bank of like 1,000 practice questions. It's only $30. When I get done with this, if there's any value in this, I usually send my old textbooks out for free. So if I get done with this and anybody still wants it, it's highlighted, I'll send that out. So this book, a lot of times will go along with one of these answers. Yeah, Mike Chappelle is a great author in the technical realm. I had his Security Plus book and only found one error in it, maybe two, but it was a really clean book. I had some Security Plus books, and if you have watched my older streams that were just brutal. All right, back to the studying. So we're trying to figure out which component in the OAuth flow is this. Is it the client? Is it the authorization server? API server provides users after they're authenticated use the API server in this scenario is which of the four parties? Is it the client, the authorization server, the resource server, or the resource owner? What do we think, team? Got 3 minutes left of our, I'm gonna go with the first answer I see. Codebrew Cyber going with resource server. Correct. There are four parties in the OAuth flow. They are clients. Those are applications used by the end users. There's the resource owners. Those are the end users. Resource servers. Servers from a service resource owners want applications to use. And then there's authorization servers, and those are servers from the identity provider. An API, or an application programming interface server, is a simple example of a resource server for the OAuth flows. Okay, I need to work on this one as well. Oops. Screenshot. Next question. Thanks, Codebrew. Jai, or Jai, a server administrator at Acme Inc. is investigating a Windows Server 2019 virtual machine that recently crashed. Where is the administrator most likely to find the crash dump file? Is it going to be in Etsy Windows /Etsy Windows /crash /memory.json? Is it going to be in system root memory DMP? Is it going to be in Hive key users? Or is it going to be in C program files x86 Microsoft temp memdump.txt? Oh no, the old streams are super cool. I got no beef with the old streams. Those are fun, dude. Yeah, we're gonna have special guests, Zach Hale, Dr. Jerry Ogier, people in the field. We're gonna be getting crazy with Slay Cert Plus. This is just me studying for fun live, hanging out with all of you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. 64 degrees where I'm at, Western Colorado. Yep, people are getting, is it system root memory dump, or is it memdump.txt? We know it's not in a Linux location. The system root is definitely, looks convincing, but this memory.dmp is nothing I've ever seen. Again, I'm not the Windows expert here, but I've never seen .dmp. That's what Codebrew Cyber is going with. I thought it was D program files, Microsoft temp memdump. memdump.txt. Codebrew Cyber is going, and we know it's not in the H key users registry key area. We only have 30 seconds left. So it's either going to be B or D, the next person in chat to give me an answer. All right, he actually wants to go with D, so Codebrew is changing his answer. I want to go with D as well. Sebastian Antonio went with D, so let's send it. It was B, memory DMP. Interesting. Memory DMP file. Just haven't had to do enough memory dumps in my career quite yet. Good to know. All right, so we're into our first week of studying hardcore. Community average is, I like metrics. I'm a metrics person. Community average is 67 or 79%. So I'm a little below the community average. I'll come back and slay this. I'm not discouraged at all in the least. How's everybody? The 4 of you that are hanging out with me, or 5 or 6. Do you guys want to keep streaming? You want to keep studying some more questions, or are our brains good for now? You let me know. I got a few minutes left. Not too much time, but I got to get back to... I'm going to buy an irrigation pump today. I'm going to buy an irrigation pump, set it up, and then rig up like a bunch of speakers. Or not speakers, sprinklers. So put on my new boots. Got some cowboy boots, some square toes that are pretty comfortable. Get out of the Grateful Dead shirt into a cowboy shirt. Go outside. I live in the high desert, and so outside this window here in front of me is the Colorado National Monument. So I got sandstone cliffs all over. My backyard is half grass and half literal cactus, like cactus you'd see in a cartoon type of cactus. We can improve. I need my brain. I want to go out on a win. I don't like the 67%. So let's go to I want a quick win. Let's do a quick win. Let's go back. Let's stay in pocket prep. I'll keep going for a few more. Yep, nice. Touch grass or dirt. Exactly. A bunch of both. I got my question of the day wrong. I got it right yesterday. See, I read this question too quickly. Oh, you're not looking at it. No, you are. Which of the following is not a flow protocol? All I read was which is not a protocol. I didn't see the flow part. And so I picked this one when it's really obvious. So let's go to our missed questions category. We only have 4 incorrect so far, but let's go ahead and review those. I want to get those really hammered in. Which of the following SCAP standards focuses on providing a standard way to describe product names and versions? Remember that we learned that the E is the enumeration part of that. And so we know that it's E. That's going to be correct. And that's common platform enumeration. Common platform enumeration. Common platform enumeration. What is CPE? Common platform enumeration. Okay, I got it locked. Common platform enumeration. CCE, common configuration. CVE, common vulnerability. CVSS. And then OVAL, need to know. Here's a word I would connect with OVAL. I'm going to make some slides in the robot. Let's do that. I've been... what the heck? Not chess. Let me... Whoop! Let me do this. Then I can do this. Need to see my templates here. Nope. Yep. Let's make some slides. So, been working on some slides. Tech Ricky and I are going to bust these out when we go through it. But let me know what you guys think of some of these slides. I'm trying to capture multiple eras. So we're going with some classic synthwave, right? So I'm going to be presenting as I learn it and get a good grasp on all the concepts. We're going to go back and teach it. So that's coming down the pike. And then we got some 70s slides. Pretty fun. Yep, I did have a robot help me build these. Proud of it because I was able to prompt, trying to capture. I like to look at things and they make me feel something nostalgic. I like to look at a color palette or a smell and you feel this thing in your stomach of the past. And so I'm trying to create that with this one. If you're around in the 90s at all, you remember the cups. Thank you, Casually Joseph, for this suggestion. This one hits me in the feels for sure. This one I was trying to get a Trapper Keeper. I grew up in the 80s, so I had Trapper Keepers. So we're going to be talking about Federation using some Trapper Keeper style slides. Look, late 90, mid-90s corporate. One of my favorite fonts right there. And then the pastels, the 90s pastels. So I'm hoping that these slides will provide value as we... Oh, Gemini produces good slides too. Good to know. I've been using chat for so many years now with the paid subscription that it kind of knows really what a lot of the stuff. I don't feel like, man, I don't know how hard it'd be to rebuild all the whatnots. Yep, Jazz Cup and Lisa Frank, love it. You remember? That's awesome. Classic. All right, next question of our missed questions. Which of the following describes the best type of data used in fuzzing, right? We went over this. We thought it was structured in plain text. We know it's not sensitive and hashed. We don't want to put sensitive data and potentially expose it. So we know it's random and invalid data sent to the application to see how it responds. Is it going to have a memory leak? Is it going to do improper error handling and potentially reveal sensitive information it's not supposed to? Man, I sounded like a West Coastian on that "not supposed to," dude. Come on, going down the I-5, bro. Shaw, dude. Jai is server administrator at Acme Inc. is investigating Windows 2019 virtual machine. This one sticks out to me because I thought it was memdump.txt. I was proved wrong quickly. We knew it wasn't in these two, which leaves us with this one. All right. Then the last one. We know that the PSs are both process statuses. Nmap is a stealth scan. TAC SS stands for stealth scan, which we know this. It's gonna be Nmap TAC O. Rocket. Okay. I got 8 minutes left. I'm gonna go to the 1 hour mark and then we're gonna call it a day. This is just a quick 10. After answering, look for highlighted keywords to view definitions. GRC Mafia, let's get it. Or Vulnerability Mafia. Machine, never gonna get me, copper. Which of the following standards mandates vulnerability management programs and applies to organizations that handle credit card transactions? Is it A, OSINT or Open Source Intelligence? Is it B, FISMA? Is it D, PCI DSS? Or is it D, ISAC? Where's my GRC and vulnerability management crew at? This is really straightforward, though, for the record. OSINT is Open Source Intelligence. Nope. FISBA, nope. And ISAC, nope, right? We know that it's PCI DSS, Payment Card Industries. So that tells me immediately that's going to be PCI DSS, straightforward. Next question. Which of the first 4 digits after CV in a CVE represent? The impact score for the vulnerability, the base score of the vulnerability, the year the vulnerability was discovered, or the base score and impact score for the vulnerability? All right, I'm going to fly through this one for time's sake. We know that goes CVE dash the year the vulnerability was discovered. Next question. Which of the following examples are CHD? Select all that apply. CHD stands for card holder data. A, prescription refill date. B, pre-existing conditions. C, PII. D, PCI DSS. E, card holder name. Or F, primary credit card account number. Remember, card holder data, prescription refill date, it's not on the credit card. None of these things. This is a framework for compliance framework. Personal information, cardholder name, that would be cardholder data, and primary credit card number would be our CHD on this one. 5 minutes. Boom, correcto mundo. Correcto mundo. Check out the big brain on Brad. You a smart mother. What? Say what? One more gosh damn time. I dare you. I double dare you, mother. Say what again? Oh, I love that movie. Which type of threat actor is commonly motivated by an ideology rather than profits? And we talked about this yesterday a little bit. A script kiddie. B, a true believer. I come to praise the Lord. Hallelujah. C, organized crime. Or D, a hacktivist. Yep, hacktivists, driven and motivated by ideology. Which of the following were developed by Apple? A, ESXi. B, Unified Computing Systems or UCS. C, M1 chips. or D, Snapdragon processors? Well, VMware is ESXi or Broadcom, so that's not us. Unified Computing Systems, not us, but we do. I have an M1. I don't know what that's in this. This was purchased for me. I don't know. I think it's an M something, but M1 chips. Next question. I want to get through these. 4 minutes. Bola, a network. Love the name Bola. Bola, a network. I bet he can fight too. I bet Bola is like a TIE fighter. Bola, a network architect at Acme Inc., is developing a logging strategy for a new data center. Which of the following is a logging best practice Bola should consider? A, enable modification of logs. B, send logs to a central location. C, logs should only be transported via HTTP, so the insecure version, so that should stand out as a wrong answer. And then D, always use the highest logging level. No, that's not always necessarily true. You don't necessarily need the highest logging level. And you don't want to enable the modification of logs because then a threat actor could get in there and cover their tracks a lot easier, right? Increase the ability for somebody to be persistent. So we don't want to enable the log. We don't want to modify the logs. Should only be transported HTTP. That stands out as a bad answer. Always use the highest logging level. That's not true either, but we do want to send them to a central location. So that one sticks out. Moving on. Which of the following are common elements in a vulnerability report? A, risk score, B, timeline, 5 Ws, or reoccurrence? Well, we know the risk score is one. We know the recurrence is one. How many times are we seeing it within our environment? But is timeline and the 5 Ws? Nah, I don't think the 5 Ws are there. I'm going to roll with this one, see if I get it right or wrong. Boom, correct. Moving on. Lucian, a security engineer at Acme Inc., is setting up to clone a volume from another system. Lucian is using a Linux workstation to perform the work. Lucian is at the command prompt in an empty home directory and runs the command make dir clone. What will this command do? A, create a clone directory in the home directory. B, delete the clone directory. C, create a baseline image. Or D, clone the drive. Make dir, it makes a directory. So it doesn't delete a clone of the directory. It doesn't create a baseline image, and it doesn't clone the drive. We've all done make dir during our pen tests, playing labs, whatever we've done in Linux. Hopefully you've got some Linux experience. It creates a directory. A. Correct. Final question in the final minute. Which of the following is a common storage location for Linux configuration data? Is it A, C/program files? Is it B, C, program data? Is it C, var? Or is it D, etc? We know it's not A or B because those are both windows. So is it in var or is it in etc? Think about where you commonly go to edit host logs. Etc hosts, etc config. I believe it's etc. Correct. Final question. 20 seconds. Raha, a penetration tester at Acme Inc., wants to set the TCP SYN flag and specify a port when checking connectivity to different systems. Which tool is the best option for this task? Is it going to be A, netstat, B, TCP dump, C, ARP, or D, hping? Fellow cybersecurity responders, this is our final question for the day. A penetration tester wants to set the SYN flag and specify a port when checking connectivity to different systems. Which tool is best for this task? Is it going to be A, netstat, B, TCP dump, C, ARP, or address resolution protocol, or is it going to be D, hping? Everybody in class is going with hping. Let's send it. The correct answer, and we go out on a correct note, is hping. If you're brand new or maybe you need a little refresher, hping is a popular command line utility that supports the creation of custom echo requests. hping supports features such as setting the TCP SYN flag and specifying a port, which can increase the probability of host detection in many cases. Netstat is used for displaying network statistics and open ports on a system. TCP dump is a packet capture utility, and ARP, or Address Resolution Protocol, is used to discover layer 2 addresses, aka MAC addresses, or media access control addresses. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's study live stream. Let's recap a little bit of what we did today. You walked with me while I did some targeted studying in Domain 3, which covers incident response. And then we had some fun analyzing questions. If this is your first time, make sure you send this with other people that could be interested in studying for this exam or others. Tech Ricky and I will be back next week, and I'll be on tomorrow, probably around the same time, doing another study session. I look forward to seeing everybody then. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and make sure you take care of each other.